So just Iowa, obviously, you've met them before. They're pretty consistent in terms of being a pretty high-scoring team. They're going to shoot a lot of threes, things like that. What do you guys have to do to kind of be as successful against them as you want?
Yeah, just adjust, go from game to game. The Big Ten's not about beating your rivals or winning at home. It's about being able to go on the road and beat whoever. So just being able to go on the road, adjust to the scouting report, and do what we do.
I don't know how this applies to you, but them not having Freeman, just how important it is rebounding.
Rebounding is huge. It's huge every game. And Coach says sometimes you fix it, and then you just got to keep fixing it. But, it's not going to be the same thing every night. So just doing our job, boxing out and going and getting it, and then ultimately that'll lead to a transition for us. So making sure we're focusing on it.
From your vantage point, we had a lot of conversations early in the season, needed better communication, needed to get up more for games. Just how has this team improved so much mid-season?
Yeah, it's been the difference for us. It's why we kind of went on a little run, and why we've been able to be top of the Big Ten. It's our communication focus every night, and I think we've done a great job adjusting to each scouting report. So just continue to do that no matter who we're playing.
Matt mentioned last week how you and him have basketball conversations. He trusts you in on it. What are those conversations like?
Yeah, they're about everything, about our team, other teams, what we need to do. But ultimately, it's what can we do to win the game. And I think that's what's been so good about playing for him is he's a guy you can talk to. He's not a dictator. He's a guy that'll listen to you and adjust. And ultimately, when you go out there and play every night and you play to win, he's going to put trust into you.
What does that trust that he puts into you mean, just from a player and person standpoint?
It gives me confidence, especially to talk to the other guys. And when you're asked to be a leader and you're asked to help your team win games, trust goes a long way. And I got to trust them, they got to trust me. So just continue to improve that night in and night out.
How much more comfortable do you see CJ and Jabari right now in terms of where they were back in November to where they are now?
Yeah, I thought the other night just proved how comfortable they are. Going into a rivalry game, your first one, it's not the easiest. Me and Braden lost our first two our freshman year, so for them to go out there and do their job, pick up full court, Jakari knocking down big shots for us, it was huge. So credit to them, and now I'm just going to keep pushing them to keep doing it every night.
You guys in a better place now against full court pressure than you would have been back in November because they seem a little more confident. I assume, will try their three-quarter court stuff against you guys.
Yeah, I'd just say they're more confident all around, offensively, defensively, and when you got guys that can handle it and defend full court, pushing them to go out there and do it their hardest ability every night to help the team win.
Last couple of years, teams that wanted to win a Big Ten championship had to try to make up a lot of ground on you guys getting towards this time of the year. And teams that wanted a number one seed were having to hope that you guys faltered or they made a big jump. This year, you guys are more chasing those things. They're still attainable, but how does the vibe change at all as you get into February this year?
I don't think it changes. It's staying consistent, showing up every day and doing your job. Whether Michigan State has one loss or no losses or whoever else around us we got to go out and win every night. So that's what we're focused on doing, and we're focused on us. The rest will fall into place.
You could find yourself looking at the standings or checking on Michigan State more than you might have in other years.
It's my job. Help the team win the Big Ten. So, I watch all the Big Ten games. I watch a lot of college games, but ultimately it's making sure we're ready to go come Tuesday night.
When you have a player on the team who's as flexible and valuable as Cam Heide and can do a lot of different things, how much does that benefit the team as a whole where you can put him on fours, you can put him on threes? He's clearly athletic enough to dunk, can shoot threes, kind of just has a whole tool bag. Yeah,
Cam's been great, and he hasn't even shot it as well as he hoped to and as well as we know he can. So just keep making sure his confidence is still high. We know what he can do. He can guard 1 through 4, sometimes even 5 if they're small. So I'm just pushing him to really make sure he knows he's going to help this team go far.
Did you see him lose confidence at all when he was starting and then had that taken away for CJ and Caleb being inserted in?
I'd say anytime something like that happens, it puts you back a step, but he's still putting in the same amount of work. I see him in the gym every day getting shots up, so I know he's going to be ready, and I'm going to keep telling him he's going to make the next one.
Physically, mentally, it's this last month an even higher grind than what you guys have had to go through already this season, especially for like the freshmen?
I'd say I wouldn't say it's tougher or anything. I just say it's you gotta be consistent. You gotta do what you gotta do. Good game, bad game, you gotta get the same shots up. Just showing up every day with that goal in mind. You're here to win the Big Ten.
How are you making that decision real time on whether to drive against a closeout or shoot? It looks sometimes like you are sprinting into your catches, like you're wanting a drive.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with my feet. If I got my feet ready to shoot the ball, I'm gonna see how close he is and determine if I can get the shot off. And then kind of on his angle, if I can catch it on the run and go by him. It's something I put a lot of work into in the off season. And a lot of NBA guys kind of do that, catching it kind of already with your momentum going towards the rim. So being able to play out of closeouts has been a good main focus of mine.
How much does that process start during the scout for you guys? Like, are you paying attention to who might be on you and how they handle this?
Yeah, it starts immediately. When you're watching Big Ten games, you see kind of where guys get shots, where shooters kind of play in that game. So being able to see if it'll be a lot of closeouts or a lot of down screens, or if it's man-to-man or if they're switching a lot, you see how you're going to get shots. And going into each game, now that I'm a junior, I've been able to kind of see that.
Are teams trying to take away the three-pointer even more as the season's gone on?
I mean, yeah, I'd say so. We're a good three-point shooting team, so you got to do something to try and beat us. And when you got a guy that's so good with the ball like Braden, and we can win in a lot of different ways, and we've proven that. So just being able to adjust whatever teams take away, go and do the other thing.
What did you think of the Luka trade?
I woke up and thought it was April Fool's Day, but I thought that was pretty crazy. It'll be interesting.
All right, so can you just kind of tell us just how much more confident you and Jakari collectively kind of are now as opposed to where you maybe were in November and December?
Yeah, I just feel like throughout the season, after every game, like I feel like we've gotten better and having more experience, especially now getting farther and deeper into Big Ten play. And we're going to have to play better if we want to win the Big Ten championship at the end of the day.
Or what you guys do, does the value of that come out more in Big Ten play than maybe it does in just general college basketball? It's a more physical game, and it's more defense oriented.
Yeah, I feel like now it's even more important, and so me and Jakari are going to have to play better in order for us to accomplish that Big Ten championship, which we want.
I might be wrong about this, but it felt like early in the season you and Jakari were really up on the ball, and eventually the guy would get his shoulders toward the basket and get past you. Did you guys make a simple adjustment to kind of contain the ball a little bit better while still applying that pressure?
We've been doing a better job of keeping the ball squared on defense, so not giving angles for guys to easily blow by and get to the hoop. So just working on that in practice, and then also applying that to the game has been very helpful.
What about handling the ball against pressure in the backcourt? Does confidence kind of help in that area too? Iowa will probably three-quarter court.
Yeah,
Trap you guys a little bit.
yeah, we've been working on that in practice, just playing against zone defenses and presses. And at first, it's definitely different just because of the length and size that college has compared to high school. But now, throughout the season, like it's slowly getting better and better for us.
How much was the learning curve on defense, just from how much detail you guys are given each week and how much you're expected to know for each game as a freshman coming in? How much was that an adjustment compared to anything you'd ever experienced before?
I think it is like a big adjustment just because like there's different matchups for each team. So you're going to have to be guarding someone different than someone else depending on what team you're playing. So just being able to know like the person I'm guarding and then being able to apply that in practice and then towards the game.
You mentioned Big Ten Championship a couple times there early on. Like who talks about that the most? Do you guys hear that from the coaches? Are they constantly reminding you about that? Is it other guys in the locker room that are always talking about Big Ten Championship?
I feel like it's everyone because it's just a goal that we want and a goal that we set for ourselves at the beginning of the season, and it's accomplished, we're able to accomplish that if we keep performing the way we are now.
I want to say it was the Michigan game where I think one of your teammates stood up the ball handler and they tried to backdoor you, and you saw it coming and got a steal off of it. How much are you anticipating things from a defensive standpoint now, having the experience you have?
I feel like I've been anticipating a good amount so far. I kind of overplayed that backdoor, so thankfully I was able to get a hand on that and we got the steal, but just being more careful on defense and just making sure to keep my guy in front of me.
That was Michigan, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Physically, do you feel like you've freshman walls had something they've talked about, or does playing 20 minutes a night kind of save your body a little bit?
I feel like it does, and then also in practice we've been running up and down the court a little bit, doing a lot of defensive drills, and also staying fit in the weight room as well has definitely helped me a lot.
Fans seem to really respond to you and Jakari because Purdue fans tend to appreciate things maybe a lot of other fan bases wouldn't even notice. Have you kind of sense that from the people in the arena?
Yeah, I feel like I have a little bit. I feel like the defensive tenacity that we bring onto the court sort of brings a lot of energy to the people in the stands. And that goes for everyone else on the team. I feel like we have one of the best fan bases in the country by far, and I'm just glad that they're able to come and support us every game.
What's the biggest thing you've learned from having to practice against Braden every day?
Just getting through ball screens, because that's a lot of what he and TK did. I don't really play against him a lot now, just because we're doing a lot of different stuff in practice. But during the summer, I would be guarding him a lot, since we'd be doing scrimmaging and stuff. So it was definitely a big challenge for me at first.
Was he kind of, when you first got here and had to practice against him in the summer, was he a nurturing guy, or was he like I'm going to embarrass this kid type of guy?
No, I feel like he was a nurturing guy. He definitely wanted to push me on defense too, and I appreciate that because it gets me better and also prepares me for the season as well.
Because sometimes those hyper-competitive guys just want to torture young people.
Yeah.
He wasn't like that.